We're here with Canton City Law Director Joe Martuccio, and the big question for Law Director Martuccio is, when is the opinion coming out on whether or not Canton properly elected a vice president / majority leader on January 6th, was it?
I believe it was January 6th.
Yeah, so when are we going to get that decision, Director Martuccio?
For a lot of reasons, I'm hoping within the next week or two. We have come to some agreements, we being everyone involved, the council, the law, the administration, that we don't want the city to be gridlocked. We don't want the department heads who need supplies and services hurt. We don't want taxpayers and ratepayers hurt who need the city to function. So we're processing legislation as quickly as we can while we consider this to be a separate legal issue, this being the election of the leadership of Canton City Council. There are a couple of layers to it. One clearly for us is the legal side of it, the legal research, and as has been stated, as some of your viewers and readers know, a law director is a legal advisor. We are elected and paid to render our legal opinions, and I've rendered mine, but I'm not a judge. I don't have the force of a court. I can't come in with a magic bullet and have it enforced. So if we don't, if we're not successful in some of the strategies we're trying to come to a political solution, then we will have to render a legal opinion as to how this issue is best resolved. And again, with bearing in mind your readers, your viewers, our taxpayers and ratepayers, if we do end up in litigation, I would sincerely like it to be the least time-consuming, the least onerous, the least expensive, and the fastest way to deal with the issue.
You think that's a real prospect?
I think ending up in litigation is a real potential. Again, we're trying everything we can to avoid it, but we do want to. I think the one thing we're all agreeing on.
Who would that come from?
It could come from several sources, but I don't want to discuss that yet. Again, I'm always a little optimistic, maybe sometimes overly so, that given the time, given the new areas of research we're in, you'd think that with hundreds of cities around the state of Ohio having held thousands of council meetings over the last 150 years, that this situation might have been done before. But as far as we can tell, there's really no clear, easy precedent saying, oh yeah, this happened in such and such a city, and this is how it was resolved. So it's kind of an interesting, although frustrating, legal situation. It's layered. There are a couple of layers to it, and there really isn't a clean precedent, meaning this has happened before.
Do you have an opinion on the overture by Councilman West tonight that the majority leader or / vice president, questioned by Councilman West, Morris, seemed to be open to a special council meeting? You think that's a solution to the problem?
I don't think anything can hurt at this point. I think discussing some issues is good. It could be. It very much could be. Because Member West raises an issue that is part of what he's already asked us to research. Is a vote that took place, the way the vote took place, binding, or is it a standing violation? Again, that's ultimately up to a court to decide, unless we can decide it internally in a way that yields 7 votes.
Okay, so we can expect, if there is no resolution among the council persons themselves, we can expect your opinion within the next week or two?
I think that's a fair statement.
And it wouldn't necessarily be a written opinion. Did I understand you correctly earlier this evening that
yes,
that might be the case? Under
the Ohio Revised Code, which guides us in these things, a law director is obligated to answer legal questions that are put forth to them by the relevant city officials. And we can answer either in writing or orally. We have that option as law directors.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Law
Thanks,
Director
Martin.
Joe Martuccio.